Hello everybody and welcome to this March channel update. I usually do one of these a month just to kind of check in with you guys about what's going on the channel, what's coming up on the channel, and just, I guess in some ways, my general thoughts on things that are going on. In the background you will see Sea of Thieves, which is a new game which may even be out by the time this video comes up, but that is beta footage in the background there. I'll give you a quick sort of few minutes rundown of what I think of Sea of Thieves, I guess, as you can see it there. So if you don't know what Sea of Thieves is, it's a pirate game, I guess, although to call it a simulator would be like calling Fortnite tactical shooter simulator. It has got a very kind of like unique art style. It's a really stunning game. The actual ocean and seas itself the water is just amazing, and I really like the art style it has. It's a multiplayer focused game, so the idea is that you play with others and you go off and you do certain quests, and that gives you gold which you can then use to upgrade cosmetically items. I don't believe that there's anything which will give you a significant advantage over other people. It's all cosmetic, and eventually you will become like a legendary pirate and then get new stuff there and so on and so forth. It's very focused on kind of cooperative sort of play, so it's not something like, say, Destiny, where you can literally just play the whole thing on your own, or you can team up with other people, and then there's other modes with other people. There's, as far as I'm aware, one mode in this game, like one world, you're in it, and you go around, and I guess people you meet up will either be friendly or they'll be foe, or things that are going on. I played a bit of the beta and I love kind of what they have going on with the game, which is this kind of like you have to think about what you're doing when you're sailing the boat. It's not just a case of like, oh, push forward. You have to like let the sails down, you have to lift the anchor up, you have to steer the boat as it is, you have to think about the weather as you go around, you have to consult your map. There are, in the beta anyway, there were two different ships, a big galleon and a smaller sloop, as it's called. The galleon's meant for multiple people. The sloop can be piloted by one person, or ideally two. And the quests kind of ranged from going and killing a pirate skeleton, to finding some buried treasure, to transporting some livestock from one area to another, or collecting some livestock from an island, that sort of thing. And it's my main worry with the game is that there is not much else going on, as in the world it feels like one of those games which is relying on its players to create the stories. So in other words, it's relying on a collection of people coming across other people to form the story of the game, rather than actually having events and things like that going on. I believe there are some sort of like random events and stuff, but it's kind of more about what you can find and seek, and the game world feels a little empty at points, to be completely honest. I don't know if that was just because it was in the beta. I didn't really come across anybody else when I was in it, and so it's interesting anyway. That's what I will say. I'm kind of very umming and erring on whether or not I'm going to actually get the game. I watched a video which kind of showed you what was going to be going on and stuff like that in it, so the events and what they've got planned and different things, and it all looks pretty good, but I kind of feel like once you have that kind of gameplay loop of like, oh, I've done this quest, and it's just gonna repopulate with a very similar quest, to go off and do that, or go find this treasure but it's on a different island, stuff like that. Feels a little bit kind of I don't know, it just feels like games have advanced quite a bit since that kind of thing, and I appreciate that it's kind of a multiplayer game. So it's like, oh, you know, it's great because there's going to be other people and you can play with your friends. But if the content's not there, then it worries me about the longevity of the game. And yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on it right now. But of course, you know, betas are not really indicative of the final game, and I'm sure there's lots of things coming and it's going to be very interesting, but I'll probably wait for the reviews to actually see exactly what's going on. But I think the reviews might be a bit late because being a multiplayer game, it's difficult to review it, if that makes sense, until everybody's playing it, you know. So I guess the other worry is that you have that immediate, like, lots of people in it, and then you have that drop off of, you know, people who just walk away after the next game comes out, you know, like Far Cry 5, etc. But as you can see, it is beautiful. It's got lovely sound. You know, the sea is just amazing, and it's interesting, and it's something different. And you know, people can moan all they want about you know, companies releasing sequels and there's no new IPs. You know, and sometimes when people do release new IP, you have to appreciate that it's not going to be perhaps the, you know, amazing game that third rendition of a series is going to be, because they've had time to refine and learn from the mistakes of the first few. So you have to take sometimes, I think, these things with a pinch of salt. When someone's doing something new and unique, which I kind of believe this game is. Anyway, that's that out the way with. Let's have a chat about the channel and how we're doing. So January, February, more January, but a little bit of February are kind of renowned as being quite quiet sort of months in video games. There's an interesting thing going on at the minute though, for sure, which is the explosion of the Battle Royale games. PUBG was obviously the kind of start of it. I guess if you wanted to go back further, you could argue like DayZ, and then you could say H1Z1, and then I guess PUBG came from there. And then Fortnite is the new kid on the block almost on there. And you've probably seen that there's no content on any of those games on my channel, despite them being the most popular thing since sliced bread. And the real simple answer is I just don't like the games. I'm not saying they're bad games. It just doesn't appeal to me. In the sort of game, my game's always been a more kind of narrative game, an RPG perhaps, or something like that. A game that tells a story a bit more than just about winning and losing, if it makes sense. And I like games which are multiplayer. You know, I play Hearthstone, I play FIFA, you know, multiplayer form. I play Destiny occasionally, you know, and I like those games. But I always feel like, from my experiences, because I have played Fortnite Battle Royale version, I feel that I don't know, it just doesn't. It's weird to say. It's like Overwatch. Overwatch was a game which never appealed to me, and that was obviously a really big thing as well. And I was just totally was like, nah. I love the characters. I love the art style. I generally like Blizzard games. This one, it just doesn't do anything for me. I think because it's just this kind of multiplayer game. You drop in, you shoot people, you leave. You know, kind of similar with Fortnite. It doesn't really feel like there's any real progression. I guess it's a skill thing of playing and becoming more skillful and stuff like that, but yeah, it's not really appealed to me that much, shall we say. So I've just avoided those games, probably and frankly at the detriment to my channel. I'm sure I would be getting good views on videos if I did of them, and there I am launching a new series on Fallout 4, a game which is a couple of years old, you know, a couple of years old I think now. But the truth is, that's always what I've wanted to do on my channel, is games that I enjoy, games that I like and want to play. I've got no illusions that I'm gonna be a big YouTuber or things like that. People always say to me, "Oh, you deserve more subs, etc." But the truth of the matter is, I don't, because if you want to, attract more subs, you have to follow the trends. And if you're lucky enough that the trends also coincide with the games you enjoy, then you're gonna have a great time. But if they don't, then you kind of have to make a choice, and the choice is, should I just make videos on this because I know they'll be popular and I can build my channel? And then some people will say, well, once you get that established kind of subscribers, then you can kind of think about what you want to do. It doesn't work like that, because those subscribers will be there because of the stuff you did before, if that makes sense. And if you decide to do something completely different, then you're going to lose a lot of them. Or you choose to just do the stuff you want to do, and I think accept the fact that you are not going to get the I mean, it's not so much about growth, it's about views, isn't it, in a way? And I'm not talking about numbers of views, I'm talking about the ability for someone to see your video on YouTube is the most important thing in a way. I was looking at this week just gone, and I typed in gaming ASMR into the YouTube search to see, not on my channel by the way, but on a different one, on a different account, and to see if my videos showed up. Because I remember doing it before and they didn't really show up, and I was like, that's weird. I thought I'd have a look this time, and despite having over 1,500 videos, that's right, I have over 1,500 videos, not one of them showed up. And I got to 300 search results and not one of them had shown up. And you might be saying, well, yeah, but you're a small channel, etc, etc. Well, within the top 50 there were channels which were much smaller than mine, and videos with much less views, like sub 100 views on them. Because to be fair, gaming ASMR is still a niche area within YouTube. And I thought that's very weird, and to not even have one of my videos in the top 300. And I think I've kind of figured out what it is and why they didn't, and I think I may have rectified it a bit. But it's disappointing without a doubt, and probably something that held my channel back a little bit. Now, it's only one search criteria, and sure, if you search ASMR Fallout 4, I'll turn up in the top 10, or ASMR Hearthstone, I'll show up there, or ASMR Skyrim, I'll eventually show up there. Certainly not the top 10, I don't think, but maybe top 20 or something like that, which is all fine and good. But it was just interesting to see that, like, probably the hardest thing to kind of get is eyes on your video. And I'm not talking about people clicking on it necessarily and watching the whole thing, but just the ability for them to find your videos on YouTube is tough, because there are so many out there. And for anybody kind of coming into YouTube with the idea of doing something similar to what I do, a let's play, whether it's ASMR or regular, it is tough to get that kind of notice without being very lucky and perhaps getting that viral video that you often hear about people getting, and they're like, oh, that was the stepping stone, as it were, for me. That was the one that made the difference. And I was thinking about this for a few days, because I was like, well, it's not that, I'd be lying if I said it didn't get me down. That I've put like 2 years and 2 months or so into my channel, 1,500 videos plus, and my growth level, as in the number of subs I get per month, is still the same as it was about a year ago. So between 160 to 200 subs a month, net, that is, not gross. And you would expect that over time that would probably increase, but when I thought about it for a few days, I realised something, which was I kind of remembered something, I would say, which was that I don't do this channel to get the views and things like that. I started this channel because I wanted to contribute something to the community. I had been watching these videos for a while, and I always felt that a lot of people, or a lot of kind of big channels like February Rift and people like that, they would do one-off gaming videos and that was it. And there were a few other channels at that time who were doing bits and bobs, but they weren't really that, I didn't feel like they were that cohesive. Probably the biggest one at that time was Luminin, I think, and he was doing something similar to what I thought was missing, or what I thought I wanted. And I think that was kind of an important thing, which was that there were videos I wanted to watch which didn't exist on the channel. And so I was like, well, I can't be the only one who wants to watch these kind of long form, relaxing but interesting still videos, you know, on the channel. Something like a Fallout 4 or Skyrim, you know, where it's this series of, you know, numerous episodes and this story being told through it as well, but at the same time it's something you can watch in bed or just when you're trying to chill out and relax without having to worry about some massively over the top you know, commentator or you know, person playing who is just hyper exaggerating everything that is going on the screen for entertainment value. I felt like there was that gap, and I wanted to, you know, move into that gap and make those videos because I didn't feel like anyone else was, and so I did. And I think sometimes you have to understand that the things I really enjoy, the things I do, are not necessarily going to be what the popular masses want and enjoy, but I always believe that, like, at the end of the day, if I'm getting sort of, I think on average my videos generally aim between 300 to 800 views, which is fantastic really, and certainly I have a very high subscriber watch rate, and I must have a very loyal subscriber base, I think, because to have like a 50% subscriber watch rate, which means that 50% of my views are from subscribers, 50% from non-subscribers, is kind of incredible. On there, you know, I get roughly 2,000 views every 2 days, so about 1,000 views a day, and to say 500 of those is my subscribers, and I only have just over 3,000 subscribers. That's actually a really good retention rate. Every day, if you think about that, if you think how often you actually watch YouTube videos, you know, I'd never expected people to watch every single video I put out. I've always felt like there's going to be certain series or certain types of videos people might enjoy more than others. And I think when I was kind of like thinking about this, and I just realised that I just really like making videos, and whether they're going to be watched by 100 people, 1,000 people, or, you know, 100,000 people, it doesn't really matter in a way, because as kind of selfish as it sounds, I do make a lot of these videos for myself, because as much as people will go on about how a community is, you know, fantastic and everybody's great, the thing is with when you have your channel, it doesn't really matter whether you've got 1,000 subscribers or 10,000 or 100,000. You rarely actually meet in person any of them. You know, it's pretty rare. Even somebody who has, like, you know, unless maybe they're doing like a big fan meetup, but even so, it's going to be a very small percentage of their overall subscriber base. And so you make, you know, a lot of the time you're making these videos and then you just see the numbers go up, if that makes sense, and you're like, oh, people are watching it, or oh, maybe not so many people are watching that. And as you dial through the analytics, you can get ideas of how long people are watching for and who's watching it from where and which country. And you kind of have to remind yourself sometimes that there's actually human beings watching those videos, and like, it's a fantastic feeling to actually create something, albeit whether it's easy or difficult, you know, whether it requires days of editing or just a simple upload, it's great feeling of people actually watching that, even if it's, you know, 100 people or 100,000. You know, it's a fantastic feeling that is actually being watched and generally on the whole enjoyed by people. That's a great feeling, and for me personally, I guess because of the experience I've had, the number of videos I've made, I've kind of dialed it down to a point where it's not difficult for me to make videos. Like, for some people I know it's difficult to make videos, either from a technical aspect or from a mental aspect. A lot of people suffer from a kind of perfectionist kind of feeling, where if there's any slight minor, you know, problem with the video, then they'll scrap it and start again, and you know, then it can eat into their time. Or, you know, it's a mental aspect of, you know, fearing that if you put that video up, you're going to, you know, be ridiculed on the internet, or, you know, you're going to get all these nasty comments and things like that. And I've never really suffered from any of that at all. Those of you who watch my videos know I'll play a game, I'll record, I'll upload. Like, there's very little to any editing going on in there, because it's not something I generally enjoy or even have the time to do. And so it's not a difficult thing for me to make videos, and sometimes I feel like that. Sometimes I feel bad about that, because, like, sometimes you have that feeling like you should slave over a video for weeks. You know, you see all these people with their complicated looking, you know, Adobe Premiere, like lots of different like video things going into it, and sounds and all sorts of things, and you feel like, oh, that's what you need to do to make a great YouTube video. But the idea of YouTube was never to have really these massive high production videos going on. It's great that they are there. The idea of YouTube was simply, as the tagline suggests, which is broadcast yourself, to be able to put up your own videos. It's evolved into something where I feel like some people try to one-up others by having more complicated, you know, like, you see some videos are like, oh, this video is in like 8K and HDR and stuff like that, and my camera cost $150,000, and you're like, mate, most people are watching this on their mobile phone. It makes no difference at all. And you know, some people would be like, oh, this microphone cost me £3,000, and then you watch a video where someone's just made a video and it you know, they used you know, the built-in microphone on their headset, you know, and it's a better video just because of the person doing it and the content maybe that they're doing. So I think really from my thoughts over the last few days, I've really just that I enjoy making these videos, and it's fantastic when people comment on them, fantastic when they want to click like on it. It's great, but I just really enjoy making videos. You know, I love obviously playing video games. I enjoy making videos on it. I enjoy doing something different every now and then, so things like the Google Earth tours, or you know, back when I did things like the vlogs and stuff like that. You know, doing different things every now and then, but ultimately I think I've come to the conclusion that, like, no matter really how hard I was to push it, I'm not really sure what I mean by that, but like, I think even if I pumped out content like 3 videos a day or something like that, like, I'd never get to that stage where I could ever probably reach a level that, you know, some big channels have got. It's just, you know, I'd never get to that 100,000 probably, I don't think, because there's the content I do and the style I guess I do it in, and the fact that I pretty much actively avoid the trends as a whole mean that I'll never be there. And I think so long as you're okay with that, then you can really enjoy what you're doing, and that's really the main thing, because if I stop enjoying it, then I'll just stop the channel, because there's literally no point. value. I make very little from this channel. In fact, I haven't made anything since December because for some reason AdSense is kind of screwed up. I've been contacting YouTube about it, but I've literally made nothing since December. But it was never about the money. That was always just a case of, well, you know, we could do that. And some of you actually may have noticed that I have activated ads on my channel. I simply did that because I was wondering if that was an issue as to why they weren't showing up in search results. If that was a thing, you know, if a non-monetized video, it would make sense for YouTube to push videos with full monetization rather than ones which weren't showing the skippable video ads. So let me know if that's really annoying or not. I'm not technically making any money anyway, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. I'm thinking they're going to sort AdSense out eventually and I'll get that money, but who knows. And besides which, it's only double figures, I'm afraid. It's certainly not triple figures, so, or quadruple, or hundreds of thousands or anything like that. So yeah, I've come to that kind of conclusion. I realise I've been talking about this for about 20 minutes now, but I think it was something I kind of had to get off my chest a little bit because it is something I think which every single YouTuber goes through at some point, which is that feeling of, is it worth it? Is it worth putting in the time, you know, to go through and do this? And even to a point whereby I've streamlined the way I make videos, is it still worth me spending that time to do it? And for me, yeah, because I enjoy it. For others, it might not be. So sometimes I look at channels and I see people stop making videos, and you're like, oh, why'd that person stop? But you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes into actually making videos, and as I said, some people are perhaps luckier than others, you know, with the way it goes, or with the motivation, or just with their personality suits making videos a bit more than others. Because I know for some people it's like a real torment, you know, of uploading a video and wondering if that video is going to be alright, and you know, not feeling like it's good or anything like that. And that's kind of you know, a horrible thing if you really want to do something, you really want to make videos, but you just feel that you know, nothing you're doing is right, or nothing you're doing is any good. You know, that's a common issue, I think, amongst a lot of people. And I think the thing to remind yourself sometimes is that, you know, YouTube has always been about the amateur videos. You know, it's never been about the high production values or anything like that. And yeah, just don't forget that, I guess. Really, if you're thinking of making videos, or you did, and you know, for whatever reason you kind of fell out of it, just make it simple. You know, don't try and, you know, run before you can walk. So with regards to the actual channel, that's right, we're half an hour in. I'm actually going to talk about the rest of the channel bits. It's doing okay. It's ticking over nicely. We're pretty much stuck to one video a day. Fallout 4 is probably the big new series. If you haven't checked it out, I recommend it because I really like it. I've really enjoyed playing it. I love the like the E&B I've put on it, which has just made it look really nice, I think, and different to normal Fallout. And there's lots of things I want to still do in that game, and interesting things, and kind of role playing it in a way helps, because I'm not making decisions based upon what I know about the game. I'm making decisions by thinking about what a character would do, and whether that's going to be a right decision or a wrong decision. It's cool to kind of do and think about, really, and it helps you to play these games again, you know, after the first time, when you might know about different endings and what goes on, you know. So really been enjoying that. We still have like a schedule which is in my about section, which is pretty much up to date, I think. I'm just actually literally going on to it to just check it, but pretty much Mondays are Subnautica. Again, really enjoying that game. It's really cool. And lots and lots of things to still do in it as well. It's kind of like, it's a fantastic game where you have this a thing very similar in a way to Minecraft, but almost a bit bigger, where you start small and you unlock things, and then it kind of branches out of different things you can do, and then you unlock them, and then that branches out, and you can dive deeper and go further and discover more things. And I really like that about the game. And I'm really starting to get some traction with it now, I think, as well, and get going. Now I've got the vehicle bay and stuff like that. It's cool. Fantasy football is still ongoing. I'm going to do some videos about the World Cup. I mean, it only happens once every 4 years, so bear with me on that. If you hate football, I appreciate it. And there's a video I've been meaning to make for a long, long time, which is going to be about Leicester City winning the league. It might take a while for me to do, because I've got to do some actual research and actual work and actual editing and stuff like that to it, but I need to do a video on this because it's a fascinating subject and probably one of the most surprising events in sports history. And whether you're interested in sports or not, miracles, like people talk about it as a miracle. It wasn't a miracle. They were very specific things, that happened, which all happened at the same time, and it's a fascinating kind of story, I think. Anyway, but I'm going to do that. That should be up this month, hopefully, but I don't know when. Skyrim. I am having some problems with Skyrim. It crashes a lot. I'm gonna persevere and get through it, and then I'll have to rebuild my build to jump back into my main story. But this will be the last story, like mini story Skyrim that I'm gonna do. I have an idea for another one, but I'm gonna wait to do that till I take a break from the main Skyrim story. The other thing is that Skyrim VR has been announced and is coming out on the 3rd of April for PC. It came out only on PS4. I'm interested in doing some videos on that, but I don't think I'll do like a series or anything like that. But I'm definitely going to get that because I'm just a sucker who buys Skyrim on everything. I've got it on Switch, I had it on Xbox 360, I brought it on PC. I brought like an actual physical copy of it as well. I've brought it, this would be like the 5th time that I would have brought Skyrim. I know, believe me, I know. It hurts me as well. We got Assassin's Creed Origin, which is coming towards the end of the story. I am going to do the DLC for that, but I'm going to just wait maybe a couple of weeks after I finish the main story and then jump into the DLC. There's going to be 2 DLCs, I think. And then we've still got FIFA, which is obviously an ongoing thing. Other games which are coming out this month, which I'm interested in as well, which you might see some videos on at some point, are going to be a game called The Council, which is like a similar kind of Telltale game, but it has RPG elements in it, and it looks very interesting. And I've been meaning to play a kind of game similar to that on my channel. The one I'm really looking forward to at the end of the year is The Wolf Among Us 2. I'm a massive fan of The Wolf Among Us. I loved it so much. I never really got into many of the other Telltale games, but The Wolf Among Us just, I don't know, mainly because of its adult nature, I think it just really hit home with me. And so I'm looking forward to trying out The Council. And also Ghost of a Tale, I might do some videos on as well, which is a really cute little kind of like stealth game about mice. And it's just been released, like it was in early access for ages, and I brought it way back when it was in early access, and I forgot that I even owned it. And then my girlfriend said, "Oh, have you seen this game? It's come out today." And I'm like, "I own that game." I own that game. So yeah, I'm gonna play a bit of that. There's gonna be some more kind of wonder videos and games, specifically Final Fantasy 15, which I own. Which is a really cool game, by the way. Got it on PC and PS4. I know, I'm just that person, sorry. If something comes out on PC, I have to get it, because it just looks so much better. I'm going to do a wonder video on that, and maybe some other games as well. And you'll see the occasional Hearthstone video as well. At the day I'm recording this video, it's the 16th releasing 3 Hearthstone videos. I was going to just do 1 and then include the videos unlisted, the first 2, but I was like, nah, fuck it, just put all 3 of them up. And so yeah, that's going up, but it's not really going to be like a case of me making a video every week, or before I used to do 3 Hearthstone videos a week, and I think it burnt me out in the game, and I started to dislike the game, and I'm playing it a lot more casually now, and that's good. They've just announced an expansion. I'm not really planning on doing too much. I'm probably going to play a lot of Wild, because that's where I've got most of the cards, but I just want to have some fun in it, really. The game's too expensive for me to, either from a time or a monetary point of view, it's too expensive for me to really play like I used to anymore. I just don't want to spend that much time in it or that much money. And yeah, that's about it. The other big game, I guess, that's coming out this month is Far Cry 5. I am going to do some videos on that, but it won't be a playthrough of the game. Firstly, I don't necessarily feel like it totally fits well with a ASMR style, although I believe you can find elements of a game or do any game in a style. I've often talked about the scale I have of, like, you know, 1 to 10, where 1 is like a super relaxing video and 10 is like a normal video, and then you can make videos which fit all along that scale. It's not a binary kind of you are the ASMR or not, you know, there's a scale there, so I do believe that that's fine. So I will make some videos on that, and I'm looking forward to Far Cry 5. The DLC looks a lot of fun as well. Whenever that comes out, they've kind of announced what it is already, which is brilliant, because you can actually be like, okay, I'd quite like to get the version which has got the season pass, because the season pass looks great. Not just like, oh, get it with the season pass. Oh, what does the season pass include? Oh, we don't know. Why would I buy it then? So yeah, and I think that's it from what I am particularly interested in coming out for the rest of this month of March. The other one I'm thinking of getting is Ni no Kuni 2, but I think that might be too much of a time sink personally. Although a beautiful game and it looks really good fun, I think that might be too much of a time sink. I think I'd like to finish Final Fantasy 15 first before I thought about that. I'm just actually loading up Steam as I'm here to just have a look and see what it's got. I think that's pretty much it though, to be fair. Oh, nice to see Subnautica in the top sellers on Steam. That's really good. Yeah, there's not really much else to say. Oh, they're going to do a video. I'm going to do a video as well on the Nintendo Switch. Going to be 2 videos actually. One's going to be a look back at the Switch's first year, and the other's going to be a look forward to the next year of the Switch and what's coming, what's going on. Because we had a really cool Nintendo Direct the other day, and it was very interesting. But I'm going to finish up there anyway. Not make this too long. So I hope you enjoyed my ramblings. If you have any suggestions, I always love to hear them. You know, I read and pretty much respond to every single comment on the channel. I don't necessarily always do exactly what people want me to do, but I do listen, and that's a start. But thank you so much for watching and listening, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye bye.